Hello, today's episode number 33 of the Professor Slots podcast discusses Winning Strategy 4, Special Events Winning Strategies, or, as I like to call it, the Early Riser Winning Strategy. Plus, this episode I'll be covering the current state of slot machine casino gambling in the U.S. states of New Hampshire, New Jersey, and New Mexico. Thank you for joining me for the Professor Slots podcast show. I'm John Friedel, and this is the podcast about slot machine casino gambling. It is where I provide the knowledge, insights, and tools for helping you improve your slot machine gambling performance.
John Friedel from the Professor Slots blog reveals all his tips and tricks for thriving in the casino environment. Choose winning slot machines and identify your gambling goals. Being entertained, earning comps, winning take-home cash, or combining them. John has won 90 taxable jackpots and a luxury car in 9 months of slot play and made a profit at slots gambling since 2013.
In case you missed it, on my last episode, I went over Nevada's long-term, worldwide leadership role in the gaming industry. Also last episode, I reviewed Nevada slot machine casino gambling, including how Nevada has much more than just the 69 casinos currently existing within the city of Las Vegas. There are also 31 other cities with casinos, including 2 tribal casinos. I hope you enjoyed listening to my last episode as much as I enjoyed making it for you. Before moving directly into this episode's content, I'd like to quickly mention 2 changes to this podcast. The first, you already know, that I've switched to a 2-week schedule. The second change is a consequence of the first. In order to get caught up with my state-by-state website blog series, I'll need to talk about more than just one state per podcast episode. So, starting with this episode, all the way through to episode number 40, I'll be presenting 3 U.S. states or territories on each. Starting with episode number 41, and then going forward from there, I'll reduce that down to 2 states or territories or federal district per episode. This coincides with the second cycle through of my blog series. In this way, I'll be able to sync up fairly quickly with my ongoing publications while still delivering useful information to you. Please be aware that on my ProfessorSlots.com website, after writing and producing 56 weeks of blog articles, I recently completed the first cycle of this series on each U.S. state, territory, and federal district. For a summary article of this online resource I've created for you, my fellow slots enthusiasts, simply go to ProfessorSlots.com/state. If you want to go directly to the state you are interested in, then just type in ProfessorSlots.com, followed by a slash, and then the 2-letter abbreviation of the state, territory, or federal district you're interested in. Again, this is my free resource for you, my fellow slots enthusiasts. Thanks for your indulgence and patience with this quick programming update. Now, let's get on with the show. Remember to visit ProfessorSlots.com/subscribe to get my free report revealing the top 7 online resources for improving your gambling performance, including the one I've used as a top-tier slot machine casino gambler. In this first segment, I'll be talking about the early riser winning strategy. Casino special events are an opportunity to improve your slots gambling odds, and therefore your overall gambling performance. As I've discussed previously, the reality of slots play is not about winning a slot machine's top jackpot. Rather, the result of implementing any practical winning strategy is to systematically improve your odds of winning when playing slots. As it happened, special events were unusual enough that I was able to detect a winning pattern over 9 months of weekly slots gambling. In this segment, I'll fully share this winning strategy with you. This segment has the following subsections. 1. An introduction. 2. What are casino special events? 3. What's so special about special events? 4. When do casino special events occur? 5. Implementing a winning strategy for casino special events. 6. Acknowledgement of a technological trend. And 7. A summary. Special events at a casino are generally a large promotional event held by the casino. This includes, for example, when there's a especially large audience attending the casino after a local sporting event occurs. Other types of special events include other large and nearby gatherings, such as annual festivities or a march for one charity or another. While not specifically organized by the casino, These nearby special events are nevertheless important as an opportunity for the casino to drive traffic to their establishment. This approach is very well known by the casino marketing staff and an important part of their very own winning strategy. While the celebration of a holiday is indeed another type of special event for a casino, I am fully excluding them from this winning strategy 4. The reason I am doing this is because they deserve their own episode, which will eventually be called something like Winning Strategy 5, the most reliable holiday patterns. Large promotional events, whether they are coordinated to occur during or immediately following large local community or sporting events, are casino special events. The casino invites patrons to these promotions via email and mail flyer distributions using their Players Club sign-up. More traditional highway billboard and other such advertising venues will also often be used to improve attendance. These promotional events, which players may not necessarily be aware of, might include the conclusion to a month-long or longer promotion, such as a car giveaway. Somewhat smaller but still relevant promotional special events might include local concerts or celebrity presentations in or near the casino venue. In general, I have found special events to not be a good time to gamble via slots at a casino. This may make you wonder why I've called out special events as this winning strategy number 4. The reason special events are a winning strategy is relatively straightforward. I have found that there appears to be a distinct winning advantage for playing slots on the day after a special event, particularly in the morning or early morning on the following day between, say, 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. I think now you understand why I called this segment Early Riser Winning Strategy. Simply put, my personal slots gambling records show this post-special event period to be an excellent time for the casinos I've attended the morning after special events. This real data also matches my financial understanding of how profits might well be run at a casino by its operator, which I will explain as follows. When a casino has to reach its targeted gambling percentage payout commitment to its stakeholders, yet for big special events often planned, wherein relatively huge attendances are expected, it would be easiest and possible to meet these expectations if the casino paid out very slightly less than its financial performance metrics require. But why? Because this imprecision in meeting financial performance metrics is due to a known limitation of technology, which can only provide near real-time results, not real-time results. This difference is important, an imperfect situation resulting in a useful delay, and the underlying origin of this winning strategy. To help explain this element of the special events strategy, let's imagine a specific casino-related business scenario. What if, due to a few hours' worth of delay in collecting and analyzing daily revenue, the casino actually pays out slightly more than they really needed to in order to meet their financial performance commitments for that day? How long would the casino have to reduce their overall payout return, in other words, to take people's money, during the subsequent week of relatively smaller attendance before they could make up for that loss due to that miscalculation? Hint, think in terms of several days. Logically, it would take quite some time due to the reduced revenue that is possible to be received from a much smaller number of gamblers per day in the days after a large special event. But let us consider the opposite business scenario. What if the casino were to deliberately pay out slightly less than their projected financial target during special events? If they subsequently wanted to meet their financial target, then it would only take a few jackpots over the next day or so to reduce that revenue to rather precisely balance their financial performance to the exact payout return desired. In other words, under this scenario, the second process actually makes it easier for the casino to meet its financial target. The downside for the casino is, of course, that they cannot meet their daily target. Not quite. But that wasn't happening anyway, as explained by the first scenario. Under the second scenario, they'll be able to actually meet their financial target in, say, daily, plus another 4 to 6 hours, and to do so without providing a noticeably bad experience for patrons. Did you notice somewhere in what I just explained the winning advantage of special events? Whether you did or not, you savvy slots enthusiast, just in case I'll go over implementing it shortly. Beforehand, however, we'll first need to know when special events occur. The strategy of the winning advantage of special events is to plan for visits to the casino on the morning after they occur. One relatively major disadvantage of this winning strategy is learning or knowing when casinos have large crowds in attendance due to a special event. So, what is the local sports schedule for home games? Is there a special guest planned or another type of promotional event? Are you a member of the casino's Players Club, and did you get a mail flyer or email about a special event? For guests and promotions, both the easiest and hardest way to know their full and complete event schedule is to be a top-tier or near top-tier player, or know someone who is in either of these Players Club status tiers. Having such a connection is important. Such so-called high rollers usually receive personal guest +1 invitations to attend if they are currently active in their playing. If you're not at such a high status tier, maybe you can attend special events, or at least know about them, by being the +1 of someone who is invited. Otherwise, limited information for events open to the general public can usually be found as advertisements on the casino's website. There is also the in-between crowd, those people who are in the lower Players Club tiers. Like high-tier players, they too get invited to special events not otherwise open to the public. If this winning strategy is of interest to you, seriously consider finding out about more promotional events by making friends with players in a higher tier than yourself, and again, perhaps even attend such events with them. But with regards to this winning strategy, it is not important to attend the actual special event. What is important is knowing that a special event will occur. If all this seems like a bit too much research, there is a simpler way to implement this strategy. However, be aware it may result in some wasted bankroll. This simplified schedule is simply this: what day or days of the week does your local casino typically hold special events? A truly simplified approach, with no research at all with regards to the casino's schedule, is simply this: assume special events occur every Friday and Saturday evening. You might even want to add the last day of each month. So, if a special event is known to be occurring shortly, here's how we implement this winning strategy to take advantage of it. Attend the casino with intent to gamble via slots early on the day after the special event occurs. As I've seen myself after visiting the day after a year of special events, careful analysis of bankrolls, jackpots, and my own personal payout return can show a pattern of financial profit. There are a few caveats to be aware of, however. These are more practical issues than anything else, but perhaps given your own travel habits, they may be applicable to you. First, be aware that the casino will sometimes financially perform as planned, with the result that next day balancing is unnecessary. Sometimes, in other words, the casino gets it right. Second, I've found success with this strategy by implementing it between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. on the day after special events. You'll note that that's quite a wide range, as well as being quite early in the morning. Let me mention I wasn't attending the casino from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. after special events. What I was doing is what I expect you'll do if you plan to implement this strategy. Simply find a time between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. when you'll visit the casino for a short while with the bankroll that you're comfortable with. Third, in the interest of full disclosure, for practical reasons, I was only able to implement this winning strategy at a limited number of casinos. The reason for this is simple. I had to be nearby to implement it. At 2 casinos, they were not located far from where I worked, so driving in to visit them beforehand was relatively straightforward. However, I have subsequently moved a distance further away where this is no longer a practical approach. A few other times, I was able to implement this strategy when staying at a casino hotel. This circumstance allowed me to wake up early or stay up really late to take advantage of being within walking distance of where I needed to be. Another caution the thoughtful player wanting to implement the advantages available due to special events should be aware of is the acknowledgement of a technological trend. Much of the technology driver for casinos implementing next-generation gaming technologies into their casino operations is to improve customer satisfaction while reducing costs to improve casino profits. In other words, these technologies are getting better and better at providing real-time results to the casino regarding financial revenues. This will eventually influence the winning advantage of special events. A decade or more ago, every casino had a league of bookkeepers and accountants on staff to handle the massive paperwork being generated by casino patrons every day, with the result of being able to compile summary financial results only once or twice a month. Nowadays, there is the technology of centralized computers linking slot machines and more. This has provided slots players the ability to call for beverage service from a slot machine, for slot attendants to receive routing instructions and confirmations via mobile devices, and much more. The concern here is the day is fast approaching when new and recently renovated casinos and their operators will begin to achieve effectively real-time financial results. When that day arrives, this winning strategy of special events will cease to exist. For now, it seems new and renovated casinos are on or near a 12-hour cycle of generating summary financial results, which means, again, for now, this advantage still exists. Casino operators that are not new, nor have been recently renovated, that is to say, those showing no sign of a centralized computer network linking their slot machines, are on a much longer cycle. While this means this winning strategy potentially exists, without knowing what the length of that cycle is, makes it more difficult to apply this strategy. Instead of implementing the strategy the day after a special event, how many days after a special event should you gamble? For example, would it be 6 days after a special event or 7? Over years, this would be less and less of a concern as older casinos are renovated. When the internal business reporting cycle is around 4 to 5 hours, as with the new and renovated casinos I've frequented after special events, the possibility of missing the period of revenue balancing is less likely. But again and eventually, all casinos will have even better technology than is being seen at the most advanced casinos today, and this strategy will have had its day. That day, however, still appears to be a few years or decades away. As a final note on this last point, it is years or decades away because there are two factors which are competing here to drive this special events-related winning strategy into oblivion. First, there is the technological trend of better and faster financial reporting software. Second, in competition with this is the growing crowds attending casinos, which makes real-time financial reporting more and more difficult to accomplish as time goes by. It's a race, you see, and we know who will win, the financial report software, but we just don't know when. As I've mentioned elsewhere, gambling via slots is a thinking person's game. If you implement this winning strategy, you want to also watch for its demise. It might not be entirely obvious outside of your analysis of your own gambling records. In summary, casino special events have a winning strategy associated with them, which I have fully explained here. When implemented, they improve your overall gambling performance. However, as with some of the other winning strategies I've presented, it isn't necessarily convenient to implement. If your goal is to make money, rather than entertainment or earning complimentary gifts, you might be more inclined towards this approach. Not to put too fine a point on it, if your goal is to make money, you're more likely to get up early to make money. Although I really shouldn't rule out slots enthusiasts with the goals other than those to make money. For instance, entertainment gamblers may well be at the casino in the early hours of the morning when this strategy is best implemented. In this segment on the winning advantages of special events, I described both the types of special events as well as how to best find out about them. This included through networking with higher Players Club tier status slots enthusiasts. And, naturally and as usual, I discussed how best to implement this winning strategy on taking advantage of casino special events, This included how to use it, as well as what you'll want to avoid in the longer term as current casino technology trends continue. Remember to visit ProfessorSlots.com/subscribe to get my free report revealing the top 7 online resources for improving your gambling performance, including the one I've used as a top-tier slot machine casino gambler. Up next is the second segment of the show on slot machine casino gambling. In this episode segment, I provide a brief overview of the current state of gambling in 3 U.S. states, territories, or federal districts, emphasizing, by far, anything of interest to slot machine casino gamblers. Up first is New Hampshire Slot Machine Casino Gambling 2018. Here goes. New Hampshire slot machine casino gambling consists of 10 casinos without any slots or electronic gaming machines. There are table games available. The minimum bet is 1 penny and the maximum bet is $4. New Hampshire has banned commercial casinos and tribal gaming is non-existent. However, the charitable gaming industry has spread through small-scale venues such as malls and pubs, as well as larger establishments at defunct racetracks. The legal age for gambling is 21. New Hampshire has banned commercial casinos, and tribal gaming is non-existent. However, charitable casino-style gaming has spread over the last 40 years through small-scale venues such as malls and pubs, as well as larger establishments at defunct former pari-mutuel racetracks. This spread has been possible through the use of a charity provision in New Hampshire laws. Poker rooms and casino clubs are able to partner with charities to donate 35% of their revenue, thereby allowing them to offer any game of chance. Nearly 400 charities have attached themselves to clubs, poker rooms, and former racetracks to create small-scale venues. There is no tribal gaming in New Hampshire due to this state having no federally recognized American Indian tribes. For those interested, the complete state regulations for New Hampshire casino gambling are provided by the New Hampshire Gaming Control Commission on their Laws and Rules webpage. Next up is a relatively short statement about slot machine private ownership, which I have included in case you live in this U.S. state or are considering a slot machine in it. Here it is. In New Hampshire, it is legal to privately own a slot machine if it is 25 years old or older. New Hampshire state regulatory bodies include the Gaming Regulatory Oversight Authority for casinos and the Racing and Charitable Gaming Commission for racing. The state lottery is regulated by the New Hampshire Lottery Commission. Per their website, the Gaming Regulatory Oversight Authority has been established to ensure integrity and public confidence in gaming regulation and to oversee and assess the current regulation of gaming activities authorized pursuant to New Hampshire law and recommend the appropriate regulations of casino gambling in New Hampshire. In this section, I'll discuss New Hampshire gambling establishments. As usual, any existing website links for each casino are available by clicking on the New Hampshire entry in the show notes available at ProfessorSlots.com/E33. The largest casino available in New Hampshire is the Cheers Poker Room and Casino, having 0 slots and gaming machines, but 16 table games. The second largest casino is Lakes Region Casino, having 6 table games. There are no active racinos or pari-mutuel facilities in New Hampshire, with no live races held since 2009. In summary, New Hampshire slot machine casino gambling does not include slot machines or other gaming machines. New Hampshire has banned commercial casinos, but charitable casino-style gaming has spread through small-scale venues. This spread has been possible through the use of a charity provision in New Hampshire laws. Poker rooms and casino clubs are able to partner with charities to donate 35% of their revenue, thereby allowing them to offer any game of chance. Nearly 400 charities have done so. Tribal gaming is non-existent. There is no tribal gaming in New Hampshire due to this state having no federally recognized American Indian tribes. Remember to visit ProfessorSlots.com/subscribe to get my free report revealing the top 7 online resources for improving your gambling performance, including the one I've used as a top-tier slot machine casino gambler. Up next is New Jersey Slot Machine Casino Gambling 2018. Here goes. New Jersey slot machine casino gambling consists of casinos and pari-mutuel facilities, currently with all 7 casinos located in Atlantic City. New Jersey's gambling laws are the most permissive in the U.S. Due to a May 2018 ruling by the Supreme Court, sports betting is no longer banned in New Jersey. During their peak in 2006, when they were the only commercial casinos in the eastern United States, Atlantic City casinos were an economic boon. Subsequent openings of many casinos and racinos throughout the eastern states, along with the Great Recession, has extremely reduced the profitability of Atlantic City casinos. Due to a recent upturn in profitability, an additional Atlantic City casino is expected to open in late May 2018. Another 2 casinos are being proposed in Meadowlands as well as Jersey City. The minimum legal age for gambling in a casino is 21. The minimum legal age for other forms of gambling, such as pari-mutuel wagering and the lottery, is 18. New Jersey voters legalized casino gambling in Atlantic City in 1976. The New Jersey Casino Control Act became a state law in 1977. The first casino in New Jersey, the Resorts International Casino, opened in Atlantic City in 1978. Online gambling was approved after several attempts in 2013. There are no tribal casinos within the state. In New Jersey, it is legal to privately own a slot machine if it is manufactured before 1941. New Jersey has 4 state gaming commissions, including 1. The New Jersey Casino Control Commission, which regulates online gaming and Atlantic City casino gambling. 2. The New Jersey Racing Commission, which regulates race betting. 3. The Legalized Games of Chance Control Commission under the Division of Consumer Affairs, which administers bingos, raffles, and amusement games. And 4. New Jersey Lottery under the New Jersey Department of Treasury. Slots enthusiasts should focus their attention on the New Jersey Casino Control Commission. As of 2011, the Commission's task of regulating casinos is shared with the Division of Gaming Enforcement. The Commission is an independent agency, while the Division is an arm of the New Jersey Attorney General's office. The Division of Gaming Enforcement provides its state gaming regulations online, which is a 2,639-page document. Much more study is required to fully understand the specifics provided on payout return requirements in this document. In general, however, New Jersey state gaming regulations require that all slot machines have a payout return of at least 83%. In this section, I'll discuss New Jersey gaming establishments. As usual, you can find this list under New Jersey slots in the show notes available at professorslots.com/E33. At the beginning of 2014, there were 12 casinos in operation in Atlantic City. 4 casinos closed by the end of 2014, with another closing in 2015. The remaining 7 casinos are steadily becoming more profitable due to their having fewer local competitors. In fact, an 8th casino is expected to open in late May 2018. The largest casino in New Jersey is Bally's Atlantic City, having 5,200 gaming machines and 230 table games. The second largest is Hard Rock Casino Hotel Atlantic City, having 5,000 gaming machines and 250 table games. Atlantic City casinos, along with their payout return percentages for mid-2016 through mid-2017 are 1. Bally's Atlantic City, with a payback return of 90.9%. 2. Borgata Hotel Casino and Spa, with a payback return of 91.6%. 3. Caesars Atlantic City, with a payback return of 91.0%. 4. Golden Nugget Atlantic City, with a payback return of 90.7%. 5. Hard Rock Casino Hotel Atlantic City. This casino opened in early 2018, so it does not have an annual payback return statistics yet. 6. Harrah's Resorts Atlantic City, with a payback return of 91.7%. 7. Resorts Casino Hotel, with a payback return of 90.8%. And 8. Tropicana Casino and Resort, with a payback return of 90.5%. So, from mid-2016 through mid-2017, the best payback return could be found at Harrah's Resort Atlantic City, with 91.7%, closely followed by a payback return of 91.6% at the Borgata Hotel Casino and Spa. The Wild Wild West Casino is officially a portion of Bali's Atlantic City, but is often considered by the public to be a separate casino. Within New Jersey is also 3 pari-mutuel facilities with live horse racing and daily simulcast race betting, including Freehold Raceway, Monmouth Park, and Meadowland Racetrack. The Borgata is the only Atlantic City casino which is offering simulcasting and racebook, but only 105 seats are available. 5 other off-track betting halls currently exist, including Winners Bayonne, as well as 4 Favorites facilities located in Gloucester Township, Toms River, Vinland, and Woodbridge. In summary, New Jersey slot machine casino gambling currently consists of 7 casinos located in Atlantic City, with the 8th having opened in May of 2018. New Jersey's gambling laws are the most permissive in the United States. Sports betting is an active issue and only recently allowed. New Jersey's slot machine regulations require that all slot machines have a payout return of at least 83%. Mid-2016 to mid-2017 annual reporting shows each casino offers a payout return of at least 90% for gaming machines and table games combined. During their peak in 2006, when they were the only casinos offered in the eastern United States, Atlantic City casinos were an economic boon. Subsequent openings of casinos and racinos throughout the eastern states extremely reduced the profitability of Atlantic City casinos. However, economic growth has been steadily occurring for several years. As a result, another 2 casinos are being proposed in Meadowlands as well as Jersey City. Remember to visit ProfessorSlots.com/subscribe to get my free report revealing the top 7 online resources for improving your gambling performance, including the one I've used as a top-tier slot machine casino gambler. Up next is the 3rd out of 3 states comprising this episode segment. New Mexico Slot Machine Casino Gambling 2018. Here goes. New Mexico Slot Machine Casino Gambling currently consists of 22 tribal casinos with an additional 5 pari-mutuel wagering racinos. New Mexico has only 2.09 million residents, so their casino-to-resident ratio is significantly higher than any other U.S. state. Casino-style gaming is permitted by tribal state compacts with the 25 tribes or pueblos of New Mexico. Slot machines are permitted by license only in the tribal casinos, licensed racetracks, and in certain licensed non-profit organizations. Tribes are not required to publicly provide slot machine payout return percentages, but all electronic gaming machines are required to return a minimum of 80%. Pari-mutuel wagering has been legal since the 1930s, having a thriving industry until the late 1980s when Texas legalized pari-mutuel wagering. However, recovery and stability occurred when New Mexico legalized offering slot machines in these racinos. State gaming regulations allow slot machine payout returns to be from 80% to 96%, but as with tribal casino payout returns are not available publicly. The legal age for gambling at tribal casinos is 21, but the minimum legal age is 18 for the lottery and at pari-mutuel racinos. From the 1930s until mid-1990, New Mexico state regulations only allowed horse race wagering at pari-mutuel facilities. However, 13 identical state tribal gaming compacts from different tribes were negotiated and eventually approved after various delays in 1995. That same year, New Mexico's Governor Gary Johnson approved a state lottery. New Mexico has 25 federally recognized American Indian tribes or pueblos, each of which is now associated with at least one tribal casino. The original state tribal compacts from 1995 have since been amended several times, in part to include a requirement that the tribal casino report a net win amount. These compacts currently expire in 2037. By the terms of these state tribal compacts, all electronic gaming machines are required to have a minimum payback return of 80%. However, tribes are not required to publicly provide slot machine payout return percentages. Each of New Mexico's racinos may legally have up to 750 gaming machines, including 600 of their own and 150 leased for another pari-mutuel facility. The state of New Mexico must be paid 26% of the net take in monthly gaming taxes. State gaming regulations allow slot machine payout returns to be from 80% to 96%, but as with tribal casino payout returns, are not available publicly. By statute, 20% of the net take from racino gaming machines must go to horsemen's purses, which has been a significant amount. In fiscal year 2014, for example, over $50 million was added to horsemen's purses from gaming revenues. In addition, a thriving charitable gaming industry exists in New Mexico, where dozens of nonprofit organizations offer electronic gaming machines legal under state gaming regulations for slot machines similar to those found at New Mexico racinos. In New Mexico, privately owning a slot machine has only recently become available. Legal restrictions on obtaining it are highly limited to the following 7 terms. 1. It must be purchased from a distributor or manufacturer licensed to distribute and manufacture slot machines in New Mexico. 2. Only such New Mexico limited distributors and manufacturers may transport gaming machines in New Mexico. 3. The homeowner may not make a profit from having a slot machine. 4. Persons who play on the machine can play for winnings only. 5. The homeowner may not offer the slot machine for resale without a license. 6. The homeowner may not transport a slot machine from one location to another without a license. And 7. A homeowner charging a fee to play or keeping a portion of monies for any reason would be commercial gambling, which, without a gambling license, is a felony. As an exception, an antique gambling device may be legally owned without restriction, provided it was manufactured prior to 1970, as well as is not used for gambling. The New Mexico Gaming Control Board was established via state regulation in 1997. According to their About webpage, quote, the agency is tasked with the responsibility for regulating legalized gaming at New Mexico's licensed racetracks, veteran and fraternal organizations. In addition, the agency is responsible for investigating and enforcing violations of the laws and regulations that prohibit illegal gambling activities in the state, and monitor New Mexico's tribal gaming compacts through the appointment of a state gaming representative, end quote. In addition, its mission statement reads, quote, to uphold the integrity of gaming regulations at licensed racetracks and nonprofit organizations, and to monitor tribal gaming activity in the state. The Gaming Control Board qualifies gaming venues through a rigorous licensing and certification process designed to ensure a fair and honest gaming environment, while recognizing the importance of gaming tax revenue in the state economy, end quote. The website for the New Mexico Gaming Control Board is highly comprehensive, as well as easy to navigate. However, state gaming regulations do not require the report of payout returns from racinos, nor do state tribal compacts require them from tribes or pueblos, so monthly statistics are not publicly available. In this next section, I will discuss New Mexico gambling establishments. As usual, you can find this listing in the New Mexico slots section in the show notes available at professorslots.com/E33. The largest casino in New Mexico is the Sandia Resort and Casino. It has 2,300 gaming machines. The second largest is Santa Ana Star Casino, having 1,400 gaming machines and 25 table games. The 27 tribal casinos and pari-mutuel wagering racinos with slot machines in New Mexico, along with their home city and tribe, or Pueblo, are listed in full on my website article for this state at professorslots.com/NM for New Mexico. The complete list found there includes the website link for each individual casino. In summary, New Mexico slot machine casino gambling currently consists of 27 tribal casinos and pari-mutuel wagering racinos. All have slots. Ownership of slot machines is possible, but only under relatively highly restricted licensing conditions. Class 3 gaming is permitted at tribal casinos and regulated through tribal state compacts set to expire in 2037. Slot machines are permitted by state regulations at licensed racetracks as well as licensed non-profit organizations. Tribes are not required to publicly provide payout return percentages for electronic gaming machines, but are required to have a minimum 80% return. State gaming regulations allow slot machine payout returns to be from 80% to 96%, but as with tribal casino payout returns, are not available publicly. Remember to visit ProfessorSlots.com/subscribe to get my free report revealing the top 7 online resources for improving your gambling performance, including the one I've used as a top-tier slot machine casino gambler. Part 1 of the next episode of the Professor Slots podcast is not yet determined. However, I'm thinking it might well be a casino trip report. Part 2 of the next episode of the Professor Slots podcast will have more brief overviews of the current state of gambling in 3 U.S. states, territories, or federal district. Next time, I'll be talking to you about the great U.S. states of North Carolina and North Dakota, as well as the great U.S. territory of Northern Mariana Islands. That's the end of another great episode of the Professor Slots podcast. Thanks so much for listening. Show notes for this episode are now available within most podcast apps, but are also available on my website at ProfessorSlots.com/E33. I plan to have the next episode come out very soon for you, where I'll have more amazing content for the show. Until the next episode, have fun, be safe, and make good choices. Bye.